Once upon a time, there was a lovely girl that had been locked away in a tower for 16 years. She lived her life not knowing anything more about the world than what she read about in her picture books. She had long flowing hair that grew much, much faster than her mother's, and that's the only reason she saw herself as any different than anyone else. Her name was Rapunzel. One day, for the first time in 16 years, a traveler got lost in Rapunzel's forest. It was usually well marked. With his charming wit and matching Versace archer outfit, the handsome traveler convinced Rapunzel into letting down her luscious hair. And then she got pregnant. Now, you laugh, but statistics have shown that sexual education has a positive correlation to teenage pregnancy rates. Depending on her mother's teachings, there are several possible ways Rapunzel's story could end. Per the studies by Catherine Stranger Hall and David Hall, there are 4 levels of abstinence-based sex education in the United States. The levels are abstinence not mentioned, 0, abstinence covered, 1, abstinence emphasized, 2, and abstinence stressed, 3. Now, let's look at how Rapunzel's story might have changed depending on these approaches. Now we're going to start with level 3, where, remember, abstinence is stressed, meaning it's really the only thing being taught. So here we go. Here's hunky archer traveler man, and at Rapunzel's first sexual encounter, she didn't think twice about using contraception because she didn't even know it existed. The only second thought she had was about the fact that she wasn't supposed to be doing it in the first place. She had moral consequences, but wasn't aware of anything else that could happen. In this scenario, Rapunzel was statistically more likely to get pregnant and contract an STD because, from a very early age, she was told that sex was forbidden and wrong until she was sworn into holy matrimony. Anything surrounding the subject of sex was of no importance until the day she was married, so birth control and the idea that her lover could be carrying a harmful disease was not on her mind. Twins look like fun, but not when you're 16. Okay, now on to level 2. Now, we're back at Rapunzel's first sexual encounter. She realizes she has the freedom to make the choice of whether or not she wants to have sex, and decides to go through with it, although she feels very guilty afterwards, because she knows that premarital sex is frowned upon. She decides not to tell her mother about the experience, and continues to have sex with the archer. Because she does not have an open dialogue with her mother about her sexual health, she has no resources and a difficult time finding and educating herself on methods of birth control. Once again, she is statistically more likely to get pregnant or contract an STD, with an abstinence-emphasized level of sex education. Pretty, but
she wasn't ready!
Yikes. So, levels 1 and 0. Rapunzel and her mother have had open conversation on the topic of sex since Rapunzel began puberty. Rapunzel learned that after she had her first menstruation, her body was then capable of carrying a child if she were to have intercourse with a man during a specific time of her monthly cycle. She was also taught that she could avoid pregnancy by being very in tune with her bodily changes throughout the month and calculating it on a schedule, but there was still some risk involved in there. Her mother taught her that if she chose to have sex, it was best to use a combination of different methods in which she had also detailed. She told Rapunzel that she wouldn't be ashamed of her when the day came, and that she hoped Rapunzel would feel comfortable enough to talk to her about it if she needed help or support. So her and Mr. Mysterious Traveler Man got it on anyways, but this time, Rapunzel didn't need to worry about going and buying a maternity dress anytime soon. The difference between level 0 and 1 here is that in level 1, Rapunzel was taught that abstinence was still the preferred method, but then also educated on the rest. However, she had a marginally higher incidence of teen pregnancy. Still, because of the fact that she felt pressure and guilt from not abstaining from sex. Afterthoughts. I would like to see a world where our children are taught about their bodies and the beauty of human reproduction early enough so they can make more informed decisions about family planning and ultimately live happier lives as teenagers and young adults. I believe it fosters healthier and more honest relationships with our growing selves. I believe it will ultimately lead to lowered rates of abortion due to teenage pregnancies as well. Hopefully, after watching this, we can avoid any more of those
She wasn't ready.
moments. Thanks for watching.